everybody, welcome to another video. Today is 14th of Ramadan, so I just want to do this intro early in the morning because I have a lot to do. After I'm done, I want to clean like the house, then I'm going to take a very long nap, but I'm not going to show you how I clean the house, sorry. So then I'll take the nap. Then yeah, I think today's menu is nothing stressful, just semolina and vegetable soup, maybe some salad because they requested for it, and maybe some chips, I don't know, but yeah, you'll see in the video. So now I'm going to go and do the things that I'm going to do, then I'm going to take a very long nap, then we're going to start. So let's get going. I ate my breakfast / lunch, took a long nap, then started on prepping. I added my garlic and fresh herbs into my pestle and mortar, and I pounded everything and I kept it together. The fresh herbs are rosemary, thyme, onion, chives, garlic, and ginger. I added them to the meat, added some spices, dry spices, some seasoning cubes, and salt, water. Then I will allow it to cook to perfection. I also added my water that I'm going to use to cook the semolina. No cooking out today because I don't feel like it, sorry. So I peeled the potatoes, cut them into the size that I want, washed them, strain it in a strainer, added it back to the bowl, added a little bit of salt. I didn't add anything to the strainer, sorry. Added it to the bowl, add a little bit of salt, then enough water to cook it through. Not like mushy, just cook it to perfect until it's well done. Then you are going to strain it in a strainer also, because you are going to use it. You are going to dip it inside eggs, then we are going to fry it. It's golden potatoes. I also blended my peppers, tomatoes, bell peppers, and scotch bonnet in this small blender. It was not working, then I switched it to the bigger blender and I kept it aside also. So it's time, my water is boiled. I'm going to make my semolina meal. In hot boiling water, you are going to use a little bit of water that you're going to add at the end. Then you need a strong whisk, and the semolina, be pouring it gently and be mixing it with the whisk. Be whisking it continuously until no lumps are present. This is a perfect way to make semolina. You're going to be whisking it continuously. You are not going to have any lumps at this point. Then you're going to add a little bit of hot water. Then you're going to cover it for 6 minutes for it to steam. So the potatoes are done. I strain everything in a strainer. And also the semolina meal, that's one semolina, is done to one semolina. That's what we call it here in Arewa. So I mix it with my spatula. I'm going to pack everything in a food warmer, and then I will keep it aside until when we are ready to eat it. To the people new to this meal, like people abroad in northern Nigeria, or people who are not familiar with this, you can eat this with gravy. It's just something that's similar to mashed potatoes. You can eat it with any stew or anything, not necessarily the thing that I paired with. You can eat it with okra soup or any gravy or any soup that you might think of. So I pack everything in the food warmer and I'm going to make my sauce. I added my blended peppers inside the pot, the meat that was cooking. I also add in that black thing that you saw. If you don't know it, it's locust beans. It's called iru. Then I added my palm oil. You don't need to add palm oil. You can use vegetable oil or avocado oil or anything. Then I also add in my seasonings to it. Mix everything well together. Add in some dry spices. I also add in my fresh herbs that was remaining. So the sauce at this point was sour. Was too sour. Then I add in my baking soda. You can also use baking powder. Mix everything well. Taste it again. If it's still tasting sour, then you add a little bit more. Don't add too much. Cover it and allow it to cook for some minutes. Then I clean after myself all the things that I use. Then I went back to check on my sauce. You can also grate the onions, not necessarily like cut them the way I do. Sometimes I grate it, sometimes I cut it like this. Add in my fresh herbs, cover it and allow it to steam for some minutes. It is done at this point. So the thing that you saw in the bucket is just spinach that I stir fry with some scotch bonnet. That's it. Then we store it in the fridge. Nothing much, nothing less. Then we store it in the fridge. So I added it to the sauce mixture. Mix everything well. I also add in crayfish, even though I don't know why I didn't even film that point. You don't need to add crayfish. You can add tuna, canned tuna. And the sauce is done. So I'm going to make my golden potatoes. This is eggs with a little bit of seasoning cubes and some onions. I'm going to add in the cooked potatoes. Mix everything well. Then you're going to shallow fry it in a pan, as you can see, until both sides are golden brown. You are going to flip it so that both sides can cook, and that's it for this golden potatoes. I also made some simple northern Nigerian salad, just lettuce, tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, and some crushed peanuts. That's kuli peanut cake. You can check more about it on the internet. It's a peanut cake. And I also watched some tafsir, and it's very delicious. You're going to drizzle some oil, then some salt and some seasonings. If you want a recipe, comment down below. I ate my dinner.